first time we've been able to catch up with Jen, the MC, the legendary.
Put it like that. You mean the first time that you guys decided to give me the opportunity to grace, the stage that is Rapzilla.
Oh, here we go.
And combined with the first time we've been able to, mutually catch up. But yeah, I mean, that makes me think about something that I've been thinking about a lot recently, and that is God's timing is so perfect. And in that sense, if I were to have linked up with you guys, let's say a year ago, I would have been at a different, stage of my walk, and what I share would have been different from what I'm sharing with you now. Even like one of the greatest blessings, only about a little over a month ago, me and my wife had our first kid. So I'm glad that, being this is our first time, me and the Rapzilla, foundation connecting, I'm able to share that. And that's probably, I can honestly say, in the last 30 years of my life, aside from marrying my wife, one of the greatest blessings, welcoming, this bundle of joy into our family. But here I am, though. What's up, Rapzilla? And before we even go any further, I just want to say thank you. Thank the team, and most importantly, thank the people that make Rapzilla what it is, which I believe is the people that log on every day to check out the songs, check out the articles, check out the interviews. Really, they are, I believe, the foundation of what makes Rapzilla Rapzilla. Thank you guys, because I'm absolutely aware and not oblivious to the amount of support and that welcome that Rapzilla as a collective, has shown me in the last year. And just even as I've been walking in this new direction with not only my career, because I think sometimes people focus so much on, career, he's rapping for the Lord now. But we got to be clear. What's happening is bigger than that. I'm talking about just my life. It's just, I was going that way, I'm going that way, this way. But as long as I'm not going that way.
As long as you're not going that way.
Yeah.
Dope, man. So you got an opportunity to revisit one of those places that you kind of started from.
Yeah, that's kind of over there, right?
It started over there. Yes. You got a chance to revisit that.
Yes.
So the world came to know Jen,
yes,
the MC.
Yes.
Before they got to know you rocking the double R chain with Rough Riders.
Yes. The Freestyle Friday, BET.
Freestyle Friday, smashed it, and then they brought you back. Now you smashed it. You were one of the first people to actually do, like, I've smashed you all. There's nothing else for me.
Nah, don't put it like that. But yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, I mean, that was the crazy thing is, it's 10 years ago. The reality is, it's 10 years ago. I mean, combined with the fact that I just shared with everybody, me and my wife just had our first child. It's been a decade since that experience that you just referenced. You ask me, and if you say, yo, does it feel like, it feels like it's been a lifetime ago, right? Yeah, because it has been a lifetime ago. I mean, a decade, obviously, even if you look at the span of a human life, at most we live 100 something years old, let's just say. And that's still so, small in comparison to infinity, right? Mm-hmm. But, within 100 years, 10 years is like a tenth of that. So I look at 10 years like, I think particularly because what's happened in the last 10 years have been crazy. So when I did get notified that, yo, we're doing this Hall of Fame cypher, bringing back people that have kind of, been inducted into the Hall of Fame from the recent years to, a couple years ago and all the way back to, the first person to really get inducted even before me was Poster Boy, is his name. Poster Boy was the first person to really get inducted in the Freestyle Friday Hall of Fame, and then I followed through after that. So for them to reach out a decade later and say, I think it's a combination of things. One, for them to reach out to me, that was really encouraging and humbling already. But even more so, two, the fact that I'm here, I'm in good health, I'm in good spirits, I'm able, for what it's worth, I'm able to put together a 16-bar verse that, I feel comfortable enough to go on this stage and be like, yo, you guys want me back for real? Cool, I want to come back too. To me, all of that is a blessing. So I went back to the BT studios. We went on the roof, and they did. I think they made a valiant effort, and they did a good job in just creating, the cipher element of hip hop culture, which we know is, be it, if we're talking secular or non-secular, it's a very good platform for just individual MCs to kind of get their skills off and whatnot. So that's that was my mentality being reached out in terms of, yo, we want you back. And how that pertains to even, I think, a lot of viewers on Rapzilla and just kind of even people who may have stumbled on this interview. Even that experience, I feel like, in a way, God was like saying, okay, Jen, I'm going to open this door for you. Let's see how you utilize it. So I prayed about that, and kind of I did approach it in the sense that, people haven't heard me rhyme in English for quite some time. Like, even though in the last, year or two or even 4 years that I've been in Hong Kong, I released like little, kind of servings of English-based material here and there. Rapzilla showed it a lot of love. Thank you once again. But for the most part, for the general public, they were just like, well, we just know Jin told us to learn Chinese, and then he pretty much vanished off the face of the earth after that. Oh, what? He's in China? Oh, he's doing what out there? Okay, great. So with that all said, I looked at this opportunity, this being invited back to the Hall of Fame Cypher, as a great opportunity to, even though it was only in the span of a 16-bar, space, I was like, well, I do want to use this opportunity to, testify, and also, even if it's just on a really minimal scale, kind of just glorify the Lord, and kind of just let people know the grace that I've been shown, and that I'm in good spirits at the end of the day. And I hope that's what was conveyed in that performance. And if you haven't seen it, you can just kind of 2012. If you haven't seen anything, what do?
Google it.
Yeah. So that's not any different. But it was great. It was good. It was good. I don't want to say it was the scene of the crime. I didn't commit any crimes back in the day. But it's aside from what I just shared just right now, another thing is, it's just really encouraging once again for me to see like just God being so faithful and so generous with me, because they really didn't have to call me. Like they're like, yeah, we have to call you. You're one of the original ones. That doesn't mean you have to call me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
All it took was one person to say, oh, Jin? Nah, I don't know. Like maybe one of the higher execs or one of the talent scouts. All it took was one person to say, I don't know, Jin, he's not even in America. If we bring him on, what's the relevance or whatever? All it took was that, and that would have canceled out this whole dialogue that we just had. But no, they had me on, and I wanted to make the most of that opportunity.
That's awesome. Now, over the course of last year, you mentioned God's been good to you. I mean, you've been busy with not just music. You've been doing movies as well.
Yeah.
Can you just?
Oh yeah. Well, to backtrack a bit, I think the last that some of the viewers watching now may be aware of, or even some that are just hearing about me for the first time, I can really, in a compact way, kind of just share. Pretty much, I was on the BET thing in 2002. I signed with Rough Riders, the label. Coming off of that, I parted ways with them in 2005. I think that's one thing that I would really want to clarify. Not in the sense of, yeah, get me away from the Rough Riders. No, because I think even that experience, God really used to teach me a lot. Being with Rough Riders, things that happened and things that didn't happen, and then ultimately parting ways. Man, that experience is something that I wouldn't trade for anything, because it challenged me in many ways to develop character, which I know ultimately God used that experience to do so. But basically I parted ways with them on a mutual understanding in 05. So between 05 and 07, even 08, I was just kind of just mulling around, just living day to day. It was a very dark time in my life, in the sense that it wasn't as productive as I wished it would have been. Especially coming off of having a major record deal, having that, kind of international platform that we were talking about. So to come from that back down to really the bottom, it was really, a wake-up call like no other. And in 08, I had the opportunity to go to Hong Kong. So I had the opportunity specifically to go out there and put out a Chinese album. So the whole time I've been rapping in English, but in 2008, Universal Records, the same Universal Records around the world, but the Hong Kong division, they're like, yeah, we know about Jin. He's that guy that was, and this is even the way they refer to it, because this is just a mentality. He's that guy that was battling all the black guys in America. and I don't even want to sugarcoat it. That's exactly what they know of me as, all right? I mean, I don't have a biased racist bone in my body, but that's exactly how they refer to it. Because I vividly remember when they first met me and they said that, I was like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm not gonna co-sign that one. But so basically, their perspective was, we want to try to release a Chinese album for you in Hong Kong. We'll do some proper marketing. We'll roll out a proper rollout for you, and would you be interested? It was kind of a no-brainer for me, because there was really nothing going on in America at the time. A lot of people. It would be nice for people to think that I was popping in the States and then I went out to Hong Kong and got it even more popping out there. But that would be a bold-faced lie, because that was not the case. I was really at a standstill in America. So I went out there thinking I would be there for like 3-4 months at most, do some album promotions, hopefully secure a couple live shows, make a little paper. Back to the US I go. Apparently, not only was that not what God had in store for me, but it was far from what He had planned. And everything that I'm saying now, I can only say with so much conviction because I'm at this point now. You know, meaning when I went out there, I was oblivious to this. And even the first initial year or two that I was out there, I was still oblivious to it. But what supposedly I thought was going to be a 4-month stay at most turned into 4 years. So only recently did I move back, actually. So here's a little fun fact. You know, in 2008, people already kind of was like, well, we don't know where Jin, where is he? 4 years later, I'm thinking it's probably even a bit more so because I literally left the country for 4 years. But the power of the internet is an interesting thing because while I was out there, little did I know that the kind of traction that I was getting out there kind of sprinkling back into the States. So people was like, oh, well, at least we know he's alive. Well, what is he doing in China? Like, and they don't even know Hong Kong specifically. They just know I'm in China.
Mm-hmm.
But Jin, why did 4 years turn into 4 months? God just opened so many doors. Showered so much favor on me that it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.